Sam from DIB Audio Visual here today to have a discussion with you about a lesson capture recording product. The product's known as DiscoveryLab. It's an evolution of a series of products that we've been using and helping schools with for recording of lessons, for both lesson capture and for professional development. As a matter of fact, we started working in this space many years ago, primarily due to the request of schools for lesson capture equipment for professional development purposes, so to help their staff with peer review and coaching and development of pedagogy and practice. So look, that's where it started. Here today I've got the DiscoveryLab Plus recorder, and this has been out for a little while now, and it's an all-in-one recorder box. It's normally coupled with quite a lot of other equipment, and we're just going to have a closer look at it to help you understand how it can be used and what it can be used for. It's just sitting here plugged into not much in our little demo room, so this is by no means a fully featured demonstration, but anyway, we'll have a bit of a closer look at it here, and I'll bring you in on the GoPro. So hopefully you can see okay. So you can see, we often end up rack mounting these devices because there's other equipment that we want to use with them. But you can see that this device is, it's very specifically built to suit probably predominantly the education space, where the requirements of capture, for lessons and classrooms, and it's designed to be a cost-effective solution, really. So what we're looking at here is a touchscreen interface that also doubles as a preview monitor, and the product is designed to work with a range of feeds. And if we go over the top and have a little bit of a look at it from above, and we're upside down here, so excuse that. So you can see we've got a couple of HDMI inputs. We've got an output, which is like a preview out, and it outputs without the overlays that you see on the touch screen. And look, actually, I'll come back to that. We've got a LAN port, and this can be used for control. It can be used for pushing of the content via FTP. This device can be used for live streaming via YouTube, Facebook Live, all these sorts of things, and some of the dedicated lesson management applications out there. We've got a USB 3 interface. This can be used for saving off onto USB, and indeed, a lot of the K-12 sites that we put these in, they are quite happy to have the teacher be able to put their own USB stick in and take the recording. We've got line out, we've got microphone in, we've got line in, we've got serial control, so we can control it by IP or serial. So this can become part of a larger system. So just to give you a little bit of a look-see from the front here, this is the standard interface, and it's designed to give some preset modes of operation. And what I didn't mention actually is that this particular device can also take one IP camera input. And we've got examples here of this is an IP camera, so this could be set up into it, and the little camera over there in the corner is the one that we are using, as you can see from this view here. So that is feeding our HDMI in. So typically when these are used and we set them up in classrooms, we might have one input as the content, so it might be coming as a feed from an AV system. It might be an LCD panel or a projector or something, and the other two will be cameras. Now in lesson capture scenarios you don't necessarily need two cameras, but remember this was designed originally to help cater for professional development scenarios. So right now I've just got one camera coming into it, and I think it's set up as the B feed. If I had another camera coming into it, it might be set up as the C feed. I can put B and C alongside each other. This would be a side-by-side type recording, or a picture-in-picture where the A feed in this instance is intended to be the content. So this would be, whatever's going on the AV display at that point in time. So look, that is a bit of a quick summary. Here's, if I want to record, this is how we do it. It's as simple as that. We can touch on here. The user can see we're recording. The clock is counting. Nice little red banner. and I can change the view while we're doing that. And what I'll do is when I post this video later, I'll grab this recording and I'll put it in there so you can get an idea of the quality. Obviously camera dependent as well, and often these systems go in with HD cameras that are suitable, fit for purpose, but you can spend a huge array of funds on cameras. In terms of when we integrate these systems, so we often integrate them using boundary microphones, specifically selected, and you can see over here I've got a couple that I grabbed out of our test pool, and so these boundary microphones correctly engineered and matched with this, renders a really good result. And again, I'll publish a live recording from a DiscoveryLab system at a client site so that you've got a good idea for that. So yeah, we're recording this, so stop, that's it. Okay, if we want to play back, and these can be locked down so that users can't access and get into here and so forth, but right here I can see the recordings, and in this instance I can hit play and we're going to get a live playback of what I just recorded. But that could have been published off to USB, to FTP, we could have been live streaming, we could have been doing all sorts of interesting and exciting things. No, I don't want to delete actually, we might want that for the video. So now just to give you a little bit of additional data, if we come over to here, I've grabbed a couple of photos to help, so we'll just have a look at a couple of actual installations. So I'm just going to load these photos up. I've got a couple of snapshots, we'll bring them in. So this is a typical classroom installation of a DiscoveryLab system. So this is what you see. Look, obviously, however the AV is set up doesn't really matter. In this case, I think we were using something like the 700U from Epson, laser ultra short, on really nice big slim bezel boards for the teachers. And you can see over here the DiscoveryLab equipment. Now in this case here, there's a lot more going on in this room than goes on in a typical classroom recording setup. The room functions as a normal room. It's just in this instance, we integrated and designed the system so that it could be used for bring your own device type video conferencing as well. So, the user can plug in their laptop, they can Zoom, Skype, have a virtual excursion and all sorts of exciting possibilities there. Let's just grab a couple of the other pictures. Just bear with me. Not sure how we'll go playing back and looking at all these. Okay, so there's a close-up shot in this particular instance. As I say, this is a more complex installation. You can see the DiscoveryLab engine there in the middle, which I've just shown you. In this case, we have a Sennheiser wireless lapel microphone system, and you can see we've engineered this little mount here so that the charging cradle and everything is sitting there. You can hopefully see the USB socket here. This is so that, in this particular instance, if the teachers are using the space and they want to make their own recording, they might be doing some self-evaluation from a professional development point of view, and they might want to just take a recording of the lesson side-by-side mode and be able to go away and review it and draw some of their own conclusions as to what they might want to change or what worked well or didn't. In this case here we have some other equipment in here which is facilitating basically taking these audio and video feeds and however it's laid out here on the screen and providing that as a USB connection to facilitate the bring your own device type video conferencing, and that's some of the other equipment you can see there. What else have we got? The rest of these photos are probably wall sockets. Okay, this is for the USB touch control on the projector. Actually, I might be getting this wrong. I'm trying to remember this project. And the other one is for the video conferencing aspect. Let's just jump back to the shot here. Yeah, it is the touch control, sorry. You can see it just here, the touch sensor there. So it was a touch-based system, and yeah, so this is for a typical day-to-day connection. teacher plugging in a laptop, touch capable projector, using it for lessons. This one here is for the bring your own device conferencing application. So I plug in there, I access the microphones in the ceiling, and I access the cameras for video, and so on and so forth. Actually, I didn't put any pictures of the cameras in this instance, but they're installed on the ceiling. Here, that's an example of one of the boundary microphones. So in this case, you just tuck them up into the ceiling, and they're not really very noticeable at all. So I think the last one, was that the last one? Oh no, it's just another shot. I've got a video file here, a sample recording from this room. Oh, there you go, you can see one of the cameras over here in the corner. That gives you a bit of an idea of the room configuration and layout. So, look, that's really it. I do have a video that I'll include with this. We'll stitch it together so you've got a bit of a good idea of how this all comes together, what the recordings sound like. But hopefully that is helpful and gives you an idea as to how you can create simple recording spaces, for professional development, for lesson capture and sharing with students, and we can integrate and design these things to create virtual excursion spaces as well. To take advantage of the many organisations globally that now offer Skype and other Zoom-based type excursions. So hopefully that's helpful. Thanks very much. See you next time. Okay, test recording number 2. So you can see me, I'm standing over near the cabinet, facing the cabinet, talking, moving to the whiteboard, standing at the whiteboard, talking at the whiteboard.
It's interactive.
It's interactive. Let's add some tasks to Andrew's task list. Okay, turning around facing the front of the room, talking to the kids. Welcome everyone. Our first lesson of the year. It's almost our last lesson of the year. Okay, just sit at my desk this time, sitting down, talking out towards the kids, talking at my desk, doing some notes, talking out into the room, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, walking around the room talking, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It should be in the rear camera view, I think, depending on how we're framed. Standing at the back. Okay, so